Hey, good morning, friends. Josh here. Welcome to our morning meditations. I hope you're having a great Tuesday and that you're doing well. Been doing a lot of projects around the house lately, even though this whole stay in place order just started yesterday. I kind of got to jump on that. As you can see, I've been putting up some new things in the office and around the house, and we're doing our spring cleaning right now just to stay busy. So I hope that you're staying busy in a healthy way and not climbing the walls, going crazy. But in my project time, I was thinking about daily meditations, and one of our biblical ancestors, just jumped right out at me, and that was Joshua. And if you remember Joshua and the stories of the Old Testament, you'll know that Joshua took over the responsibility of leading the Israelites after Moses died. Moses could not go into the promised land, and so the responsibility was given to Joshua to do that. He brings them in, he gets them all established. There's a couple battles that he fights. Divvies out the land to each of the different tribes, and then he's getting old, so he's going to die. And before he dies, he goes through this long talk with the people of Israel, and he's reminding the people of all of the ways that God has been faithful to them, how he's never left them, how he's always provided for them, even when the people decided that they didn't want to follow God. And so he goes through this long sort of remembrance, sort of a renewal of the covenant, a reminder. And then he says this in chapter 24, verse 14. He says, "Now, fear the Lord and serve him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods your ancestors worshipped beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." And I began to think about all of these different sort of gods that we have in our lives. These lowercase g gods, the things that take up our time, the things that we worship without really thinking we're worshiping them. The amount of time that we spend alone on social media and Facebook and things, and just scrolling through feeds and feeding off of other people's pictures and their status. And maybe it makes us a little envious if they're going on these lavish vacations and they're doing all these things. And we're sitting there thinking like, dang, my life is not as cool as theirs. I wish I had their life. Now we're envying them. We're worshiping their lifestyle. Or maybe you worship material things. You want a big house, or you want a nice car, or you want the money in the bank, or whatever it is. Whatever it is, you know what it is, I'm sure, those lowercase g gods. And I can't help but remember Joshua's words in thinking that this is a great time for us to cast away those lowercase g gods that we've been worshiping in our lives, maybe without even knowing it, as the world is experiencing this global pause right now. And it's a great time of renewal. It's a great time to clean the house, so to speak. Not only your physical house, but your house, your temple, your mind, your body, your soul. Cast off the things that are unhealthy to you and decide how you and your house will serve the Lord. There's a lot to be said about planning, not overly planning, but planning a way to move about your day, coming up with a schedule that helps you to maintain some sanity, to maximize your time, and also to build in some things that maybe you didn't have time for when the world was up and going and running like normal. Some of those things are family time and exercise are two of the big things that I want to highlight this morning. I've created a schedule for our house, and here it is in this slide right here. You can see the different things we're doing. But I just want to remind everybody, if you're a parent and your children are stuck at home, I'm sure you've already seen this, but kids are not they're not walking to the bus. They're not walking from class to class. They're not walking from the bus back home. They're not getting the same sort of exercise through PE and sports and whatever as they would normally be. So maybe building some exercise time in for you and for your children is a great way to stay healthy. It's a great way to keep the blood flowing, and it's a great way to kind of blow off some of the steam that could be accumulating with being stuck inside and not being able to move around as much. The other thing is family time. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And family time is so important, and we can serve God immensely just through teaching our children. Teaching our children, spending time with them, spending time with our spouses. You don't even have to have kids to serve your family, whatever that means. If it's you and your dog, or if it's you and your spouse and your dog, or you and your goldfish, it doesn't matter. You can serve God. You can make that determination of how you're going to be close to God. Maybe that's daily prayer. Maybe it's just meditations with me in the morning or Pastor Jeff in the evening. But whatever it is, I encourage you to think about it, pray about it, and structure your time in a way that is healthy and allows you to be the best version of yourself. Okay. One last thing. Big shout out to Steve and Leslie Booth. Thank you so much for sending me a picture of your back porch with your cell phone there. And there was me. It was a morning meditation. And you just said, this is how we spend our time with you in the morning. And that was beautiful. I love that. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you. The church wants to hear from you. Send me a snapshot of how you are spending your time in your daily meditations with me in the morning or Pastor Jeff in the evening. And with your permission, we'll share those with the rest of the body so everybody can stay connected in that way. Okay? I love you so much. I'm sincerely happy that you exist in the world, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Blessings.